Welcome everyone to the What's Left podcast. I'm John here with Jake and Brad. We are the Punk Rock Garage Band podcast here on the Derealization Nation Media Network. Before we get started, please do like and subscribe, especially subscribe. It helps pump us into the algorithm, which is the most important thing right now. Guys, Trump uh, went up on the roof of the White House to talk about putting nuclear missiles up there. Pulled out of the Rupert Murdoch case before deposition could happen. Uh, and him and Sean Duffy announced that they were be putting a nuclear reactor on the moon. So he's definitely in those files.
Oh, definitely in those files.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
funny because with the fucking Rupert Murdoch thing, he was like, at first, he's like, no, let's do this. Let's expedite it. Let's get it going.
mhm.
And now they're like, actually, let's not put a rush on it. Rupert Murdoch's 94 years old. He's got plenty of time.
Right. Yeah, that was the point. They were like, we're gonna get Murdoch's deposition right away. And then Murdoch was like, that's fine. And then yours, we'll have yours the day after. And they're like,
Yep.
oh, oh well, hey,
Yeah.
hey,
And
easy,
it's like
easy.
it's like standard procedure to like draw these things out. So like what he's doing now is kind of just standard, like not rushing the deposition.
Hmm.
However, a month ago you were like all for rushing the deposition.
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't even matter now because Trump's base has heard that he sued Rupert Murdoch over it. That's all they needed to know. They've
Hmm.
already stopped listening.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't care. 47% of GOP polled recently, like in the last few days, said they would still support Trump if he was in the Epstein files. But
Crazy.
half of the fucking party, half of the GOP does not give a fuck about any of that. Just fucking wild, bro. Um, Boy, I wish you could read my own handwriting. But yeah, no, it's absolutely insane. He's doing all this fucking stuff to distract from the fact that he's clearly in these files. Ghislaine Maxwell, running the show, got herself a nice stay at Club Fed, and they're already rewriting this history for everybody, uh, painting her out to be the victim. And so the victims, the actual victims, uh, reached out and added their names to the New York or whatever it is, the to the court filings, saying that they're being uh, damaged um, by having to relive this stuff, which obviously. But just moments ago, Trump was asked by reporters about the deputy AG, Todd Blanche, speaking with Ghislaine, and he incriminates himself. Take a listen. Well, let me turn on the sound and then you can take a listen.
By everybody. I just a very highly thought of person, respected by everybody. And I didn't talk to him about it, but I will tell you that whatever he asked would be totally appropriate, and it's not an uncommon thing to do that. And I think he probably wants to make sure that, people that should not be involved or aren't involved are not hurt by something that would be very, very unfortunate, very unfair to a lot of people. But I will say this, Todd Blanche is one of the most highly respected people you'll ever meet. So I know this. I didn't discuss it with him, but anything he talked about with her or the fact that he did that, not unusual, number one, and most importantly is something that would be totally above board.
This very not unusual thing has never happened before. So just a quick, I don't want to get in the weeds or anything, but it's actually never happened before in the history of ever. You would always have the prosecutor who knows about the case, or somebody who is familiar with the facts of the case, who would know when she's lying, to be there to make that interview, not some random schmo named Todd. So
Is it not like I don't I don't understand how like there's no recordings of these conversations that they're having. There's
there
nothing.
there is, he was asked about it. Did you see him? And he basically swallowed his tongue and changed the subject. Um, but yeah, there definitely is recordings of these things. Whether or not we ever get to hear them, it'll
Right.
probably be, 40 years down the road, and some future grandchildren of ours will be like, release the files, and they'll be like, whoever's in charge will like still be obfuscating. Um, yeah. But yeah, so obviously he's in them. There was also a story that said his name was redacted off of 100,000 pages of the Epstein files.
Yeah.
That's crazy. 100,000 pages. But I'm gonna guess, guys, that it's gonna be the little 5 letter long black box that
Yeah.
fits yeah, that fits the description of Donald Trump. That'll probably be his stuff. You know what I mean? I think we could still probably point him out even if they black out his name. Pretty sure. Pretty sure we'll find him.
Yeah. Douchey orange billionaire.
Yeah. Douchey orange billionaire black box. Whoever could this be? We'll never find out. Yeah. The one who doesn't play the saxophone. Uh So anyway, yeah, that's what's going on there. I mean, he's clearly at him, and the Republicans don't care. Uh, but in the meantime, he's crashing the economy, uh, doing all these things. He goes on CNBC and has this wildly ridiculous rant about several things where he just sounds about as unhinged as possible. But I just really quickly want to just I can't skip over the racism because we had the Sydney Sweeney thing, and Fox News is telling us that we are all up in arms about it. I I didn't get the memo, but apparently the left is on fire over Sydney Sweeney. But the left is just pointing out over and over again that you are eugenicists and Nazis. And in case there was any confusion on that, Donald Trump this morning decided to reiterate that point.
To their country with a pass back in legally, and we're doing things that are very difficult to do and very complex, but it works really well. We're sending them back, and then they're schooling, they're learning, they're coming in legally. We have a lot of that going on, but we're taking care of our farmers. We can't let our farmers not have anybody. These are these people that you can't replace them very easily. People that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They're just not doing that work. And they've tried, we've tried, everybody tried. They don't do it. These people do it naturally. Naturally. I said, what happens if they get it to a farmer the other day? What happens if they get a bad back? He said, they don't get a bad back, sir, because if they get a bad back, they die. I said, that's interesting, isn't it? These are very, in many ways, they're very, very special people.
Are we taking them out to slaughter as like a horse when he breaks his leg during a race? They're like, oh, well, that's a bad back. He's
That's
out of here.
it's it for him. They're built for it. They're built for that. And people from inner cities are lazy. So just checking all the boxes. Um,
Yeah, just working at your shipping warehouses and your restaurants and putting on your roofs and building your homes. And sure, sure.
Absolute jackwagon. But in case he was being too subtle, he also ordered for the restoration of the statue of Andrew Pike or something Pike. I don't know. It doesn't matter because he's a fucking Confederate soldier douchebag, slave owner, Confederate poet. Um, and he insisted on having that statue back up. So that's cool, Got to have the arts.
Right, right.
Yeah. All right.
I just don't understand how there's so much love for the Confederacy, and literally Mountain Dew Baja Blast has been a part of our history longer than the Confederacy was. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, learn your fucking history, you morons.
But they
You guys are
just
over there
love.
waving your goddamn participation trophies in our faces with your fucking rebel flags. I thought we didn't believe in participation trophies, but y'all love to fly them from your fucking trucks.
This is like whoever plays Alabama first every year, talking about how for the first quarter they ran the ball real good and held out Alabama to a field goal. Like that's the story of the Confederacy. Because
Yeah, the
after
team they
that, they
normally
got fucking railroaded and never were heard from again.
Yeah, the team they normally play first game is like Sister Mary's School for the Blind or something.
For sure.
Yeah,
The South Saskatoon fucking Southeastern State Central University of South Dakota.
right.
Yeah, for sure. But they tell that
Yeah,
story for decades, how, for the first half of the first quarter, they held Alabama to just a field goal.
hell yeah. We only
That's
lost 51-3.
at halftime,
Yeah, yeah.
where they pulled all their starters and put in the high school team.
Recruits for next year. They just let them take the field.
Right. You guys want to visit? You want to play? Grab a helmet. Grab a helmet, hop in. All right. So here's what I want to highlight tonight, though, fellas. Uh, Big talk about how if we don't get into crypto, China's going to, right? We're opening up crypto mining places, yada, yada, yada. We got to have a crypto reserve, crypto, crypto, crypto. Big deal. China comes out and says bans mining, bans crypto, bans across the board. Straight ban says this is a fucking scam. Keep it away from our fucking tightly controlled central bank. Not a fucking fat goddamn chance you can have this lunacy around fucking Chinese money. So completely gone. So the whole argument is moot. Isn't that beautiful?
It is.
Yeah.
That's just
But
how it
anyone
happens.
else wants any of this bullshit.
No.
No one cares.
Because you'd have to be a moron to be like, what we need is more money that I can't have. How about a goddamn raise? How about a fucking increase in wages? If we have some fucking health insurance,
Especially for those farmers.
I'm telling you, bro. So,
China really knows exactly what's going on with their economy, like down to the penny, and they're not letting any like funny money get involved.
no, no, you don't get to play fucking Monopoly paychecks with Chinese money. Sorry, it's not going to happen. But also, data mining is crushing to the environment. And you remember our president recently informed us all that there were zero windmills in China, right? Not one. Zero windmills. Well, that's, of course, as you may have suspected, or perhaps to your surprise, uh, that was a lie. And actually, China is quite leading the way in EV technology. And I'm telling you right now, like this probably has nothing to do with the fact that they care about the environment, but the fact that they see, like any normal person would, an opportunity to create new wealth in a space away from fossil fuels. It only stands to reason, right? In China, especially since they import most of their fossil fuels from Russia and the United States and yada yada yada. For them, it makes even more sense to become sustainable. But here's a quick clip of what's been going on in
In
China.
recent years, China's northwest has been rapidly building massive wind and solar energy projects in deserts and barren lands, making strides in renewable energy. By mid-2024, nearly 25% of the electricity in the region was generated from renewable sources, making the energy grid greener than ever. Take the Xinhua Shach, 1 million kilowatt solar storage project, fully operational in 2023. It powers 900,000 people for a year.
Hear that, guys? You can store solar and wind energy so that when
Which
the
is
wind,
crazy.
which is wild, right? Because always they're saying, oh, well, you know, what happens when the wind doesn't blow?
Mm.
Well,
Not to mention all those jobs that just opened up for installing, maintenance, collecting, storage.
hmm yep.
I mean, you can't really store our power, really. Like it always has to be moving. You know what I mean? Like there's no like we don't have like storage banks for the power that we have in America right now of any like whether it be through fossil fuels or wind or it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, surplus really hasn't been our issue uh, too often in too many places either,
Right.
because it takes a long time to get those turbines turning when you're burning old dinosaur bones.
I'll let you have
Ah,
this one because it's Tuesday.
thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Kashgar alone invested nearly $24 billion in renewable energy last year. Once the Hamichongqing 800 CV UFDC project is completed, it will deliver 33 million kilowatt of power straight to southwest China. Green energy isn't just a goal, it's the future.
Not in America. It's not. The past is the future. Welcome back to
Right.
Send It to
Instead,
Navy.
we're posting AI ads of solar panels not contributing enough to our family households.
Oh my God, that was so creepy.
Wasn't that the creepiest thing you've ever seen?
Yep. You notice how like when they do like now that everybody knows to look at the fingers, all
It's
these
a movement of the body. If you can see like them jerk or like that's how you know it's AI. And then the workers in the background were doing the same thing on every fucking roof.
and they were always standing on the panels. Always. I'm like they're glass. They break. You can't stand on those. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so clearly we're spending so we wasted all that energy, all that pollution in an AI to create an AI video to prevent green energy. That's where the United States is at.
This is the thing. It's not. It's never been about like the reason the U.S. doesn't rank number one in education anymore isn't because we're falling behind. It's because they're just moving forward at a much greater pace than us. It's not that we're getting dumber. It's just that these other countries are going so much further than we have any dream of going because we get into these fucking repressive periods of time, like Ronald Reagan filling the fucking inner cities with crack and fucking everything up. And now we have this situation and the opiate epidemic. All these things have resulted in us just not progressing. China is killing us right now
Oh,
in every metric, in education and manufacturing, and like it is ridiculous. Like quality of life, which sounds crazy because we've been told that communist China is the worst fucking place in the world to live.
hmm.
Like it's not because it's not because we're falling behind. It's that we're not moving forward like these other countries are. Like we're not dumb in America. We're just choosing not to continue to grow our education
Yeah.
because they don't want to.
Even just non-active resistance to learning would be good. But there's been a literal push to be like, y'all don't need that education. You need a trade job, you need a factory job, yada yada yada. And those things can be fine, you know what I mean? But you still need a goddamn education, right? Because you have to be able to navigate things. You have to know that, for instance, like being in a union is better for you than not being in a union. You know what I mean? You have to be able to critically think at least that far in life to survive out here. Because people are out to get you, you know, especially billionaires, mostly billionaires are out to get you. Yeah, but so speaking of all these innovations, I got a few of them. We're gonna take a look. Some of this stuff is really fucking cool, and we're doing none of it. Let's take a look at this guy. Um, all of our EVs expensive, whatever. They're Teslas. Everything's computer, right? They barely work. They fall apart.
Chinese EVs are on another level. Meet the IML6, the world's first production car with a solid-state battery, giving it a 500-mile range. The interior is insanely cool, and it even lets you display custom animations and text on the taillight, packed with cutting-edge tech like NVIDIA Orin X, Qualcomm 8295, LiDAR, and features like multi-angle car log and city drive for local content on the display. And get this, it does 0 to 60 in just 2.74 seconds. Starting at only $31,800 in China, it's way more affordable than a Tesla. If it goes global, could this be Tesla's biggest rival?
No, it would be the end of Tesla.
I'd buy one.
That that is the price of a stock Toyota Corolla in the United States of America.
Yeah. That was a sick ass looking car too.
Do you know what doesn't go 0 to 60 in 2.74 seconds? A
Seriously.
stock Toyota Corolla.
A stock Toyota Corolla, right?
A stock Camaro doesn't go 0 to 60 in 2.74 seconds. That's
Yeah, and it's like 50.
insane. Yeah. Bro, that is like rip your skin back kind of fucking torque. That's
And custom messages on the back.
yeah, it was
Even the
dope.
road rage behind you.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
The display was so cool. You talk about everything's computer. Everything's really computer. And all of this work that Elon Musk is putting into these self-driving cars LiDAR that they're talking about, that is a self-drive. That car is completely capable of self-driving. He just refuses to use the technology that's already been readily available for the past 10 years. Technology that works and works very well. And we as Americans always do this. And this is what and I'm not a protectionist lefty. I don't believe I believe that one of the reasons that we failed in the first place was because we didn't innovate last time. Like our auto industry in the 80s did not refuse to make smaller cars with better gas mileage because we're America. We like a big car. I've bought the same Caprice Classic for the past 15 fucking times I've bought a car and I want it big. I don't want a V8. I don't want less than a V8 because what am I gonna do? Pull it out into traffic. I'm gonna get hit by I'll never get out on the highway on a fucking four-cylinder. All of that stupid shit that, was still all the talking points that were still around when we were growing up.
Yeah.
And what happened? Honda came in and fucking wiped us clean, wiped the floor with us for years and years. Took forever to fucking recover. And when you act all protectionist, this is what happens. The rest of the world moves the fuck on. Trump talks all the time about how people don't buy our cars because people don't want our fucking cars. Our cars are built to go through American highways, which were, just dynamited through mountains, straight line after straight line. European roads are narrow and wide and windy, and like you have to have a car that can brake, that can turn. You can't just have some fucking, you can't take the Dodge Challenger through the mountains of fucking Italy. You know what I mean? You will end up fucking hanging off the edge of the road at some point. It just doesn't work that way. That's the reason people don't buy American cars because they're inefficient, they're behind the times, and nobody fucking wants them. And we do this all the time. We tell ourselves, "Oh, well, America's got the best of everything," and we really fucking don't. We really don't. And then we end up,
And um, you can cut this if you want, but even though I'm very much against tariffs, the reason that American cars don't go overseas is because they are tariffed to death. If you try and sell an American car overseas, tell an American manufacturer to send a car literally anywhere on the other side of the fucking on the Eastern Hemisphere, and they will be hit with the craziest fucking tariffs ever. Their car to sell an American car in China, they're paying three times what you're paying here. I had to sign when I purchased both of my vehicles. I had to sign a waiver saying that I would not sell my car overseas.
yeah. And that's also, I mean, that's also true of Chinese cars. Like
Because
the
yes,
reason
because individual tariffs are good for your economy. We can agree on this.
they can be, but
Yes,
if
but
unless
not blanket tariffs on everything.
right, not blanket tariffs on everything. And I think even though if like even these targeted tariffs can be dangerous because if you don't compete with other countries, sooner or later, you know what I mean? Like we're not keeping up.
Yeah,
Obviously, we're not keeping up. This one really
right.
gets where there's technology beyond anything close to what we have. I'm only going to show one more little thing about the cars, and that's just this. I mean, they have one, and Donald Trump's famous, you gotta if an electric boat goes in the water and starts to sink, you have to choose between sharks and electrocution, right? Or you can have a whole ass electric SUV that stays afloat in the water and then drives you the fuck out of it, like they do in China. We have one of the stupidest people on the planet running our country. I mean, one of the absolute dumbest. And meanwhile, the rest of the world is like, actually, that's we got this. We figured it out. We are so far behind the times, it's ridiculous. Like, it just comes right up out of the fucking water. Like nothing happened. Look at
Crazy.
one. And that one too, if I got the commercial, we're not gonna watch it, but I mean that one is also fully loaded and just whips the
They
shit out of
are.
him.
Their car market is way better than ours.
Yeah, I spent like 10, 15 minutes just looking through Chinese EVs. Fuck me.
Yeah,
So
this is a leftist podcast, but just know that I would. Uh, I'm not going to say it, but just know that we should not be cheering for Chinese auto manufacturers.
no, Definitely not. And I'm not. I'm crying for the lack of American innovation, to be clear. If it feels that way, I didn't mean for it to. I'm definitely not rooting for China by any stretch. I just pointing out simply that we talk all the time about how we can't afford to lose to China, and I just want to point out in
And we're losing.
how many ways we're losing. Here's another one.
Created a sealed hydrovoltaic cell capable of generating electricity continuously, even
I don't know what that word means, to be honest with you, but creates continuous
in
electricity
the absence of sunlight. Unlike solar-powered cells, this innovative technology functions effectively in extreme conditions, such as deserts, tropical rainforests, and underground locations. The cell relies on carbon black and tissue paper to harness the interaction between water and surfaces, producing energy through a distinctive internal circulation mechanism. It operated for 160 hours with minimal water consumption, utilizing ambient heat to generate vapor for electricity production. This groundbreaking development provides an eco-friendly energy solution, reducing dependence on fossil fuels and performing reliably in harsh environments.
Yeah. I mean, the graphics were unnecessary, but the technology is insane.
Truly crazy.
Yeah, because the only reason that we are behind is because we refuse to innovate in it. This is the first time we've ever started innovating in it. And today Trump announced that he's ending or trying to end the $7 billion in grants for solar panels. So we can't even get the most basic established technology out. And just the amount already that's saved people and their electric bills is all going away too. So more bad news for electric bills.
Electric bills are getting crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Drill baby drill. Drill baby drill.
Here's
one more cool
some
one.
green tech news you might have missed. This giant solar tower surrounded by mirrors powers a process that turns CO2 and water into jet fuel. This could help to decarbonize the aviation industry way more quickly than trying to use an alternative power source like batteries or liquid hydrogen that would need entirely new aircraft and systems. CO2 Rail is creating special train carriages that use the energy generated when trains brake to power a direct carbon capture process. And there's so much energy that they could suck up over 3,000 tons of CO2 each year with just one carriage. And researchers have created semi-transparent solar panels that could be used on windows. They have 10% efficiency and up to 30-year lifespans and could open the door to generating solar power on previously unusable surfaces.
Bro, all we have to do is spend 1 iota of the money that we use to subsidize gas and oil.
Man, imagine if we just took from the fucking defense budget and used it to fucking make America better.
Oh, no time for that. We have to make sure that Palantir has a $200 million windfall this quarter. What it's for? Who knows? Do you guys want to see one more?
I'll watch another one.
All right. This one's pretty neat.
Have you heard of moss cement? It's a bioreceptive cement that can cover any vertical structure in moss. A Dutch startup Respire has developed moss cement by mixing traditional concrete with organic matter like coconut fiber or peat moss and spraying the surface with a mixture of water, buttermilk, and some moss spores.
At what point in the process is really like, you know what this needs? Buttermilk.
Right.
That could only be a Dutch innovation. Baby Wisconsin.
And then, moss starts to grow quickly and covers the surface within a couple of months, and it can be easily applied to existing structures. Moss doesn't have roots. Instead, it clings to surfaces with tiny hairs called rhizoids, which don't compromise the structural integrity of the wall. It not only looks beautiful, but also cleanses the air by absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and provides insulation. Moss also acts like a sponge and can hold up to 5 liters of water per square meter, helping the sewage systems. Would you consider using moss concrete in your next construction project? Let us know in the comments.
Chia.
Yeah, Chia cities. I
That's
mean,
other
yeah,
than rats climbing up them, that'd be pretty cool.
yeah. I don't know. I guess like, rats are climbing up buildings anyway. Just sometimes
Yeah.
they're inside the walls. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just there's so much that could be done, and we are choosing to go back to coal mining.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're like,
Yeah.
actually defund PBS, make sure the only way they can get free college is if they enlist in the military and get the coal burning.
Yeah. Yeah. The most boring messenger ever to bring climate change about was Al Gore. But even back then, he was pointing out that it's not, even if you don't give a fuck about the climate, it's new projects, it's new jobs, it's fresh technology, it's new ways to invest. It helps communities. Who doesn't like more fresh air? Like,
Right.
who's against fresh air? Like, why are you be like, no, I need
Mhm.
I need my
Aren't you tired of getting the air quality alerts on your phone?
fuck yeah. The other day, our super genius Elon Musk tweeted out that somebody needed to fucking invent a system that would take CO2 out of the air and release oxygen. He asked people to invent a tree.
Dude was calling for the Lorax.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it is.
undescribably stupid, the people that fucking run this joint. Undescribably stupid. All right. I want to share one more little piece with you guys for fun. So there was a town hall in Nebraska
Yep.
Hell
with
yeah.
with Mike
Uh,
Hall. You guys seen some of these?
I've
yep.
seen some of them.
All right, I got a couple of them. We're just gonna play them, and then you
He's
guys.
unemployed. He's gone. See you later. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
I sure
You got
hope so. But you know, we'll play a couple just for funsies and talk about them on the other side. How about this one? This one's cool.
I'd like to know how you expect to pay back all of this debt that is going to be layered onto our grandchildren because we're not willing to make our rich part of our society pay their fair share.
So what's interesting about that, and I think it's a fair question, two things are happening here. People in here are upset with me that I voted to cut $2 trillion in spending from the budget.
No, there's
Just
no 2 points. It is plain and simple.
right. No, it's tax the rich, baby.
There's
Tax.
no argument for that one.
No, there is none. Nobody needs these billions of
Mhm.
dollars. Can you believe this fucking incorrigible lady from I think it's the In-N-Out Burger is bitching about California trying to raise the minimum wage. She's worth $8 billion. That's $8 billion in revenue that has been raised through a company that has benefited from California's infrastructure, people, all of that. All of that money is because of California. And she's like, I can't afford to stay here. She can't afford is how she starts the sentence, which is absolutely like, I just, Marie Antoinette would never. She would never be so bold. Like, it's just absolutely absurd that these people think like that somehow like we give a fuck about billionaires. Did you guys see Liz Warren on CNBC talking about Zoran? They were like,
No.
so they asked her. She basically was like, they're trying to push back on. Her. Oh, are you afraid billionaires won't have enough to eat? Like, she just fucking clowned them. She's been clowning them all week, and it's been driving Trump crazy. He's been nonstop shit posting about her all week long because she just keeps going on CNBC and just eating them alive. It's hilarious. Oh yeah. All right, one more clip from Mike Flood's town hall, and then we're out of here. This one is the one I think that's gone the most viral. She just did a really great job of summing it up, just hand it to her. Sometimes you just spit
Mhm.
bars.
With 450 million FEMA dollars being reallocated to open Alligator Alcatraz and 600 million taxpayer FEMA dollars being used to now open more concentration camps, and ICE burning through $8.4 million a day to illegally detain people, how much does it cost for fascism? How much do the taxpayers have to pay for a fascist country?
Shut up.
Look
I
at
don't.
him sweating.
I know.
So this is
Sweating.
my question. Are Republicans just not showing up to these? Are Republicans also sitting in these crowds cheering with these people? Or what is happening? Because he's very clearly a Republican,
Yeah.
and very clearly that crowd is not on his side.
No. And
So
that's
either the numbers, the poll numbers are just complete bullshit and nobody's fucking with Trump at all, and the election was rigged and it was all fucking lie, or these Republicans aren't showing up,
I mean,
right? I mean,
yeah, no, so it's one of there's only two options here, and both of them are bad for Republicans. One option is that those are the Republicans. That's really bad. That guy who asked the question about the debt, like that was his sticking point. He probably is a old school, he's either a Clinton Democrat or a old school conservative, traditional conservative Republican. He is definitely a small C conservative because when the whole world's on fire and you're like, but what about the debt? Like you're
yeah.
you're like, yeah, I guess that too. Like that's also bad. But like all of the rest of it. But yeah, no, so the other option is that, they're so disinterested. Like the people who are motivated are people on the left, people who want the rich taxed, who want universal health care. Because in that same town hall, he asked them, "Do you think that 28-year-old kids without a job should have free healthcare?" And the whole crowd just screamed, "Yes!" So, and universal healthcare is something that the mainstream media refuses to acknowledge is like 60-40. Like it's a popular issue. It was not when they tried to pass Obamacare, they lost the midterms because they passed Obamacare. People were upset about it, but people got a little taste of a bit of relief from the system, and now they're hungry for the whole bit, for the whole fucking thing. People are ready for universal health care.
Hell yeah, dude, if we can bomb other countries, why the fuck can't my neighbor go to the doctor to get some medicine if he doesn't feel well? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, if the
It just
country
sounds so crazy.
it is, if the country that's starving children in Gaza can have free health care on my dime, the fuck am I doing paying my hospital bills for?
Right.
Eat shit and die. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, hey,
You shouldn't be afraid to go to the ER because you can't afford it.
no, it's a horrible, horrible place to be. A place that I mean, I'm old enough to remember. It's a place I'm old enough to remember. You know, it's
I
fucking.
had an ER visit not too long ago, and I pay for health insurance, and I still ended up paying $3,000 for an X-ray.
That's wild. That's wild. It's just, yeah, everything. There are certain things that, you know, just have to be socialized because you have to be able to rely on them. And medicine is one of those things. You just, a for-profit medicine system is the most abjectly cruel, idiotic way to handle people's lives on the planet. That's why no one else does it.
Right.
Yeah. People are getting hip. People are getting hip. And
Mm.
Mike Flood's flop sweat is a good sign. It's a good barometer. Pressure's changing.
Let's hope.
Yeah, I think so. All
I think
right.
so too, but who knows?
No, you can never tell. You can't never tell because 47% of the GOP said in a recent poll that they would still support Donald Trump if he was touching little kids in the Epstein files, which
Which is crazy.
is just a fucking banana splits
Mm.
fucking wild ass number.
But I will say, outside of Twitter, which is obviously hellscape for anybody with a pulse, outside of Twitter, social media doesn't. You do not see a lot of support for Trump. There's nothing like oh, Trump's doing this good thing. Told you, eat shit, liberals. Like
Yeah.
you don't see that at all.
I had a stray today, and it was so weird to see him. He popped up on one of my posts, and he said something snarky, and just, called him what he was, simp for pedophiles, and uh, just kept digging at him. He's like, I'm not a Republican, but Trump didn't do it. And I was like, oh, okay, buddy. Yeah, sure. You're not a Republican, but you gotta fucking sit here and simp for the man. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. So
Yep.
after I fucking humiliated him for a couple of hours, I just deleted him and blocked him, both of his accounts, because that's how trolls work.
It's also not fun when they're not good at it.
No, it's not. It gets boring really quickly, really quickly. Plus, he was like talking about, uh, well, his point was a lie. He had, you know what I mean? Like his whole point was a lie. So we were starting from, different realities. There was no argument to be made. So, yeah, they are definitely disappearing though. They used to be everywhere. Right after the election, you couldn't say shit on the internet without everybody being like, Trump won. That's our guy. No tax on tips, free
Red
overtime.
wave, the red wave.
Yeah, which just sounds disgusting. Just sounds gross. Sounds like a murder spree.
Oh.
I mean, I guess it kind of is. Um. Anyway, anything else you guys want to add before we close?
You mentioned his little dementia. He got lost in the White House and ended up on the roof.
Yeah, yeah, he
He
did.
was trying to find the bathroom, ended up on the roof.
Yeah, one
Saw
of
the
our.
person outside and said, "Oh shit!" He said,
We're gonna
Look at all
put.
this space up here. We're gonna put something up here, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's gonna be fucking golden Kremlin domes. That's what it's gonna be. Like that's what he's up there sizing it for. Golden
Yeah.
Kremlin does. Best thing I got today was one of my sisters texted me and said I heard somebody say diddler on the roof. And I thought that was
"That's good, diddler on the roof. That's good. That's good."
yeah, that's great. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was about. He's up there screaming questions because literally anything other than like release the Epstein files.
For sure.
He canceled his whole regular schedule today. Just yeah. So he's on the run. He's on the run. As fast as one can run with a colostomy bag.
He also responded to Sydney Sweeney's post, her ad campaign.
Oh yeah. What was he saying? Something
He
about
said, "If she's a Republican, I love the ad.
right.
Never to have her."
Somebody told him that she was. She's not. She's not. She's never voted. She's never voted. So, makes it tracks. You know what I mean? Like
That's correct.
white privilege, fucking
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely. Like nothing affects her. Why should she vote? Perfect. Yeah, this whole thing, like with the genetics, there's not hysterics. We're just continue to point out the fact that you people are Nazis. Eugenics believing Nazis, white supremacists. I don't know how many different ways we could say it. But that's y'all. That's y'all. And we just want to let you know that we see you. You fucking hood wearing clan member. We see you.
Don't even so I don't necessarily think I don't think that American Eagle was like, "Hey, Sydney Sweeney, let's give off Aryan vibes." Like, I don't think that that's what they were doing. Sydney Sweeney's just a very attractive woman, so they were like, "She has good genes." But however, American Eagle stock is soaring right now because people think that she was being Aryan like. Like people were like, "Hell yeah, brother! Hell yeah, dude!"
That's what I was gonna get at, bro. I was just gonna say, like, in the court of law, like your intent doesn't matter, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's what I mean. They think it's racist, so they're like, "Fuck yeah, dude! Hell
exactly.
yeah!" The liberals hate that shit. Hell yeah!
Yeah, but give me some American Eagle jeans. Well, have
Yeah.
fun with your overpriced cheap jeans.
I had no clue. Honest to God, I maybe I'm dating myself here, but like I haven't walked inside an American Eagle store in literally decades. I did not know that they were still a store. I thought it was like Billabong was cool when we were kids, type of shit. You know what I mean?
Never
Yeah,
shop there because it gives white privilege.
it
All the
does.
clothes, it looks like this is what Taylor Swift fans would wear, and I makes me sick. I never wish that.
Don't get me wrong. When I was wearing pop collar polos in 2002, they were from American Eagle. Okay. In 2002, when everybody had a pop collar polo, mine were from American Eagle.
Did you double them up too? Were the two?
Obviously, what do
Yeah.
you mean? What am I here for? Yes, obviously I did. I'm just saying, like, but I honestly thought that it was like a fad. Like I didn't even know American Eagle was still a thing.
Isn't American Eagle the one with all like the shutters on the windows and stuff? Looks like it's closed all the time anyway.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, that's Hollister. Yeah.
Yeah, I had no clue, no clue
Yeah.
at all.
I'm sure if you're gonna be nose raped when you walk in and it smells like eighth grade gym locker.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is formidable in there. You think they just break a bottle in the morning first thing, just smash it in the middle of the floor,
That's the
and
first
they're
thing.
like,
Just walk in like
right,
Batman.
open the gate
They probably have a gas can of it and they just walk around spilling it around the floor.
like a fire extinguisher in their fucking
Siren,
cologne.
siren goes off, the little sprinklers turn on. I miss them all though. I do miss them all. Now you go in them, they're fucking like abandoned parking lots. Nothing in there anymore. Anyway, yeah. So, oh, and Dunkin' Donuts did a genetics thing too.
Yes, they did. That one
Yeah,
is a little bit more loose though.
yeah.
But still, the message is the same.
Yeah, it almost felt like they're making fun of it, but I guess they came out kind of simultaneously, so that can't be it. I don't know.
He's also an Italian, so like it's hard to.
Right. It's hard to argue with.
Hmm. And he did something else too. I think he's already controversial. I forget what the thing
Oh,
is, but
he's a white nationalist
yeah.
Christian. But he also plays a bisexual uh person on one of whatever TV show he's on as well.
Blaze.
Oh, we don't want
Jake said keep him.
to keep him.
Jake, you know that they're all actually trying to come to your team.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the other half of the team right there. Like that's most of them. Nick Fuentes.
bisexual women and their boyfriends can stay on your side.
Yeah. Nick Fuentes though, like he's probably on the team.
He definitely hates women.
Like hates
He
them.
hates women, bro.
Hates them. There's really no. I mean, yeah, it's probably just a rumor. Who knows? All right. Eugenicists, climate change, EVs, losing to China. Yeah, I think we got it all. President's a pedophile. Other than that, that's about it. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe. It really helps out in the algorithm. You can purchase a t-shirt on derealizationnation.com. That really helps us out. All of our stuff is free, but if you would like to help out the cause, you can buy a paid subscription on Substack. Like us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And until next time, I'm John.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Brad.
And that's what's left.
China outnumbers us at a level of almost 3-1, and somehow we still spend more on our military than they do. But they have universal health care.